Hamidakyapi, Chante Washtenape, Chizapi, Tokata, Ionize, Emachiapi. Hello everyone, friends and relatives. My name is Tokata Ionize. Today I wanted to hop on here and talk about the late Emily Pike. I know that it's a really rough subject for a lot of us to address, and especially for other Native women. I think this is a case that really hit close to home. Emily Pike was a 14-year-old member of the San Carlos Apache. And there was a correspondence of police officials that was leaked that let the world know the gruesome details of her murder. This 14-year-old girl who was a ward of the state, she was living at a group home in Mesa, Arizona. And it was on Valentine's Day that her remains were found. She was dismembered and left on the side of the road in separate trash bags, 100 miles from the group home. There's a couple of things that I think are really important to talk about, and one of these things is this group home. This group home had 30 other missing persons reports that are documented. So this wasn't an isolated incident. I understand that it is a very shocking incident, but it is a part of a pattern and a cycle. She is one of many Native children who are taken from their parents, from their Native homes and communities, and placed into these institutions where they are not given the adequate resources to take care of themselves. They are not given proper mental health care for the trauma that these children have often survived. We know for a fact that Emily's parents were not informed until a week after their child was missing from this group home, that she was not accounted for. It would have been up to the group home to then talk to Emily Pike's specific case manager, who then would have informed the tribe, who then would have informed her parents. And this is just something that we see happen too often with children of all races that are in these group homes, these institutions in the care of the state. They fall through the cracks of these sort of processes that don't actually care for their health and well-being. I have also just seen too many mainstream media headlines that don't want to acknowledge the fact that Emily was a Native child. But the reason it took so long for any of us to hear about it is undoubtedly because of Emily's being a Native person. And these are just a couple things that I think are important to think about when we talk about Emily Pike, because this is not an isolated incident. This is a part of a documented cycle. 30 other children have gone missing or run away from this institution. These people aren't being held accountable in the way that they should be. When you take Native children from Native parents under the guise that you have more authority, that you are more well equipped to care for these children, and then they go missing in your care, that is incredibly harmful to Native communities. We all know that had Emily Pike been white, had she been a more perfect victim, that this story would have been more vastly reported on and more immediately looked at. I also think that if it weren't for Emily's being Native American, her being a ward of the state might be taken more seriously. But it is information that is being kept covert, I believe intentionally, because it remarks on a cycle and a violent pattern of these institutions, these state-sanctioned institutions. We want justice for Emily Pike. We demand it. And for every other Native person, Native child still suffering at the hands of these group homes, these institutions where they are fundamentally not protected and are abused. We want to say that our hearts go out to you and that we are doing our best to address this situation. You are not alone. There are people out here that care for you and your well-being and want you home safe. You are not forgotten, and we love you. Thank you all for listening.